It is 2 minutes to midnight. To call the world's nuclear situation dire is to understate the danger.
In fact, unless those days were cut short, no flesh would be saved. But on account of the chosen ones, those days will be cut short.
Interesting. And if not a little troubling. On account of the chosen ones, there has to be somebody that survives. That's what it's saying. To cut short the days. Why? What is so bad that it's going to be so necessary that Jehovah will have to cut short man's days? It's worrying. No flesh. No flesh, even animal flesh. No flesh, no distinction. Not talking about human flesh, it's saying no flesh, and it's a blanket statement of seriousness by declaring that no flesh, and I take that to be animal, creatures of the sea, birds, all life forms. None of them will survive if things go on. So the doomsday clock is currently showing 2 minutes to midnight. Now that was a few months ago, that particular news reading clip, but at the time it was quite serious because the relationship was at an all-time low, wasn't it, with North Korea and Russia, and that is why they staged that moving the clock to 2 minutes to midnight. Now, a lot of people have thought for so long that that's the way that this system will come to an end. It'll sort of just evolve into some kind of Third World War. But what happens if it wasn't like that? It's got nothing to do with nuclear capable countries having a final battle that causes God to intervene into man's affairs. What happens if it's something astronomical? What happens if it's like a polar shift, or even a planetary body moving close to the earth, and that's the reason why Jehovah has to intervene into man's affairs? Because when you read that scripture, you're left in no doubt that no flesh will survive, none at all. So Jehovah is just looking down and keeping a vigil on all proceedings. Another little interesting point is that he's holding back the angels. That the angels, if they had their own way and they weren't being held back at this time by Jehovah, they would have been here a lot sooner and vindicated his name. But it's interesting to know that he's holding them back and not allowing them to come down just yet. But I'm sure when the time is right, there will be an army of angels led by Jesus Christ, as in Revelation. Isn't Revelation really sort of preparing us for this angelic battle? It's interesting and fascinating and deeply troubling. And Revelation is such an intriguing book. Of course, it's open to many facets of interpretation from many different people from every walk of life. But if you try and just keep it in the way it should be sort of looked at, and that simply is that there's going to be a final battle between what is considered to be adversaries of God and what is considered to be friends of Satan and his hordes, and that really is a final battle between two superhuman forces, and mankind gets caught up in the middle of it. Yes, yes, I'd say we are in for some very, very interesting times. But the 2 minutes to midnight, it feels like that. It does feel as if the nearness of it all now, it's so bracing that even non-religious people are posting on YouTube about how they're feeling about the way the world's going. I think most people who are thinking about this situation at the moment believe that we are in the last days. And this is without having a religion. A lot of my cousins, they don't have a religion, and yet they're feeling as if there's something colossal is going to go down. I did say to them a few years ago, I said when these things start to happen regarding the composite sign and what to look out for, I said that they won't have a clue because things will happen that they just won't even comprehend. And I says that's the time to come and speak to me, I said, and I'll let you know what else is going to happen. Yes, interesting beyond belief.